Hello there, and welcome to the Geology Field School News Springtime Edition. Thank you for joining us for this very important meeting. Much has happened in the last 2 months, so I'll run down the list and dive in, but man, I gotta tell you, there is a lot of stuff. I started writing this knowing that there were going to be some good updates, right? But it's a lot, and that's good. However, this might be a little longer than I thought, so hang in there. Happy you're here. Let's just get to it. First, we'll go with COVID news, since that's a controlling factor in everything we do. Second, I'll talk about changes to the format of the Geology Field School News, some of which you've already seen. Third, big deal, announcing 2 hybrid field classes for fall 2021. That's this year for people who have no concept of time because, pandemic. Fourth, an introspective analysis of why training companies are largely irrelevant in 2021. Fifth, real exciting personnel announcement. And sixth, I just called it WTF are you doing? And quite literally, I'll just explain what I have been doing and what we'll do in the future. Early February, I headed out west to do some work and collect drone data. What you see here is a smattering of those videos in no particular order, offered with no real context or explanation. Just a pretty scene to supplement the smooth sounds of my sweet, sweet voice. More on that trip at the end of this whole deal. On the virus front, looking at overall trends, it's still going downwards. There is a huge drop from January 10th to February 22nd, where cases went from 300,000 down to 69,000, which is fantastic news. Impressive by any means. Obviously, the vaccine is a factor in that. Being quite honest with you, I don't know what else accounts for such a steep drop like that. Since February 22nd, cases have slowly declined, but not nearly at the same rate. Preaching to the choir, I know, but don't get lazy. Wear a mask, wash your damn hands. Get the vaccine if you can. Speaking about Houston, distributors are doing a little bit better. It's improving around Houston. If you're local, inquire with your healthcare provider. See what options you may have if you can't get into one of the big drive-through clinics. I volunteered to administer and monitor people at the NRG event with Memorial Hermit, and the response was overwhelmingly positive and effective. So it was great to be a part of that. It's great to see progress being made. I'm slated to get my second dose late this week or early next. But remember, getting vaccinated isn't the end. Do some research. Look up how long immunity lasts, whether or not you can transmit the virus when you're inoculated, etc. Be smart about it. Best of luck to you. Speaking of things that are smart, there are some changes to the news format around here. The podcast is being phased out. It was a great start in 2020 for getting the message out there and reaching you all. Moving forward, messages are going to be in a video format and posted to the YouTube channel just like this. I've also officially changed the name of all newsletters, print, video, audio, otherwise, to the Horst and Graben. The name is a bit of a placeholder for things to come in 5-10 years. This is how you do foreshadowing, right? But it's too good of a name to not use now. So welcome to the Horst and Graben newsletter conference meeting. Speaking of things that are too good, and using the very simplest of segues, because it's not my forte, I'm excited to announce 2 fall trips that have data in them that you won't find with any other provider offering these courses. October 9th through 14th, we have sequence stratigraphic controls on deep water reservoirs out in West Texas. The instructor, mentor, the expert for the trip, none other than the South American sensation, the sequence stratigraphy savant, the second greatest export out of Brazil after the Picanha, Vitor Abreu. On the trip, using the Brushy Canyon as an architectural example, we'll meander seismic scale outcrops, which is the beauty of being out there. It's seismic scale. To analyze lateral and vertical variations in the facies, from shelf to deep water, lobes to fans, carbonates to sands. The trip covers an amazing landscape of learning opportunities. Also this year, Vitor and I are teaming up to offer his globally revered school in San Diego, titled Reservoir Architecture of Deepwater Systems. We'll look at 6 deepwater systems out there on coastal California. We'll cover from San Diego up to San Clemente. Fall dates are going to be announced when they're available, and due to demand, we're working on some alternate dates as well. So stay tuned for that, or get in touch if you have questions or a demand there. Now, for all of these, in-person class sizes are limited. COVID protocols have to be followed, and we have exclusive models, video, photo, panoramas that you won't find anywhere else. We're going to be hosting remote participants to make this a true hybrid course, which has never been done before. You get the commodity, Vitor. You get yours truly, an EMT who has done this San Diego trip no fewer than 5 times, West Texas countless times. Stay tuned for more details or inquire for in-house options. You'll not find a better value out there. Really excited about these 2 trips. Lot of potential. It's going to be a great time out there. Moving on now to a quick word on how the industry changed. And I was thinking about this only a day or 2 ago, and it dawned on me that I don't think a lot of people account for this. So for the uninitiated, geoscience training companies started almost a quarter of a century ago now to fulfill a need. You have to remember, this all started back when PayPal was billed as one of the 10 worst business ideas ever, and it was brand new. This was back when Michael Jordan announced his retirement from the NBA. This is back when a ticket to Disneyland cost $41. Your search engines were Hotbot and Yahoo. Okay, AOL was selling groundbreaking internet, and the top speeds were sub 1 megabit per second. Okay, all that to illustrate the point that a training company back in 1999 was required as a conduit for experts to reach their clients more effectively. There's simply not the need for that today. There are thousands of brilliant geologists, and I'd venture to say the majority of them have their own consulting company, their own personalized email address, their own website by now. It's 2021. Companies can find the expert they're looking for and get the material straight from the source without having to pay the exorbitant markups and overhead that these other training providers have to have. Even a mildly ambitious technical expert can book logistics, print some exercises, and lead a field trip. Happens all the time, generally good results. So, in not so many words, I hear the question in my head, why should we use you? And I could enumerate a score of reasons, but maybe this is at the heart of it. I built this company differently. The rarest and most nuanced service that can be provided in the field, aside from the technical content, is the emergency response. Now, I've been working in the outdoors 12 years, and about half of those have been within the oil and gas industry, boots on the ground, from San Diego to Spain. You see a lot in 12 years. A lot of, I never thought that would happen to me. A lot of emergencies, a lot of minor things, a lot of little fixes to sprained skeletons and scoured skin. I'm not a specialized technical geoscientist, and I've been vilified for that since my time in the industry to some degree, but that's my strength. I'm the guy digging the trenches. I'm flying the drone. I'm the one getting my nitrile-gloved hands bloody, and I've got the best jokes at the bar. Geology Field School is built differently to handle a different world. It's not 1999. There's ubiquitous internet, unprecedented connectivity, an industry that's allegedly going to wane in 20 years now. Pumpkin spice is a thing, for crying out loud. I'll end my diatribe with this belief, which is something that I put in my farewell email to my old co-workers, and you'll hear me say countless times if you stick around. You live in vision or you live in circumstance. This ship ain't changing course. The name is real simple and real clear. Geology Field School. If you want to learn about rocks in the field, we've got your flavor. And of course, we'll adapt and innovate and accommodate, but that's what we are. The industry will undulate up and down and wax and wane. The cost of living is going to go up. Trends are going to come and go. As humans, we'll always long for the outdoors, and we will always learn best by experiencing the lesson. Now, on to an exciting announcement from a personnel staffing standpoint. No one understands the value of the outdoors and experiential learning better than my man Aaron Rothfolk. Aaron was recommended to me after he selflessly helped out a lot by responding to an incident on a field course where he was just a participant. The short of it is a hotel caught on fire that everybody was staying at. After talking to him on the phone, he took the initiative to advance his medical training and become a contractor at RPS. He worked with us. He responded flawlessly to a serious medical emergency on his very first field trip. He has been a top performer at every training I've ever led, and from my perspective, he's a guy who gets the big picture. doing meaningful work, helping others, and connecting people with the outdoors. He's spent more of his own energy, money, and effort helping me than I could ever imagine, and I'm proud to announce that he's on board with us. I'm thankful to know him. Oh, he's a pretty damn smart geologist, too. Pleasure to know you, Aaron. Excited for the future. Lastly, what's been going on? February was a big month for course content creation, data collecting, exploration, and helping others out. I'll talk at length about this at some point in the future, but my main motivation right now is giving back to the geoscience community and atoning for the systemic shortcomings that I was party to in the past. Drone videos, photos, short lessons, photospheres. I'm cranking up the multimedia machine to put rocks out in front of those who love them because it's hard and has been hard for us all to get outside and enjoy the things that we love. So if I can help the tiniest bit, it's all I want to do right now. The westward February trip ended up being 5,000 miles of car driving in total, and I did tally the rough numbers, over 1,000,000 feet, or roughly 190 miles of drone flying, which even astonishes me. And happy to say, no hard landings, no broken gear. There was some sketchy times on the coast of California, but as far as winds go, everything worked out. I stopped by Yosemite, Death Valley, Zion, and Bryce Canyon on the way back for fun. Coincidentally, it just illustrates the point that a lot of these most revered national parks are all intrinsically geology rich, right? There's a human connection there. And I had the help of no fewer than 5 good folks who responded to my open request for what to drone, things to do, where to go. Right now, I'm processing all of that data to get it out there. April, I'm going to Maine to build an off-grid tiny cabin. That's not related to geology, just want you to know. May, I'll be back in the field collecting data, West Texas, maybe back to Utah, that region. June, I'm planning a 120-mile backpacking trip in Sequoia. That's not related to geology, it's just something I want you to know. Actually have a couple of spots open. If you're into that sort of thing, let me know. Got a permit. July through November, we have business to tend to, folks. We'll be busy doing trips both for industry and for geology enthusiasts outdoors around Texas. I hope that you stay well. I want to thank you for watching. If I can be really honest, and apologies to the ladies who are watching, I don't give a shit if you like and subscribe to this video or the channel. I kind of hate it when people say that. Honestly, it doesn't do anything for me. I'm not making any money off of this. Just know where to find us, okay? We'll be right here. And remember this too, the cream always rises to the top. Thanks for checking in and listening along. Until next time, be well, be kind to one another, stay strong and stay safe. I'll see you down the trail.